For me, branding now is all about story. How good can you tell the story about the brand? And then you can create a lot of stories. Not all of them are correct, you know? So creating the story of a brand, where it came from, that's the most important thing about selling. Look, I don't think suffering is guaranteed success. You know, I don't think so. I don't believe that you need to suffer to be successful, you know? What I really think is that if being successful is all about one word, it's consistency. That you are so consistent on something, you know? You don't give up, you continue on approaching. There's also something that I could have said, that is like to stop trying to impress people. Yeah, because now people focusing on getting money. Getting money is very easy for everybody. But you need to decide, do you want to get it in the hard way and be a man and in a masculine way, or you just want to get it whatever? Time is the most precious thing that you ever have. You know, especially when you start thinking how life could be very short. You know, people, they don't buy what you sell. Yeah.
What do they buy then?
They buy how it makes them feel. The brands and the names and the companies, they all fade, they all go. Nobody will remember them. Yeah, they better remember the man who did this and the way he treated people, the kindness he has. And yeah, I think names stays, but the brands and all these kind of things that you read, it's just like you live this life just to fill it. Yes. So I'm filling it with work, brands, blah blah blah, but it all goes back about the person behind that.
Hello world, this is your favorite host Jay, and you listen to Say It Slow podcast. Today's guest is Mason, an entrepreneur with a sharp eye for opportunity. He's the founder of Oakberry, a rising acai brand in China that was just named Best New Restaurant of 2024 by the Guangzhou Tianhe Road Chamber of Commerce. Mason's journey didn't stop on food. For 15 years, he ran Shark Technology Transport, a Hong Kong-based trading company known for its efficiency and innovation. Mason, we invite you today to talk about business, manhood, and the mindset that takes you to win. Thank you for joining.
Thank you for hosting.
How you feel about the setup? We actually were trying to invite you for a couple of times.
It's very nice. It's very warming, and yeah, it's comfy.
Talking about the business,
Yeah.
and that's the main reason I invited you and want to talk to you about, because I saw how much effort and work you put into, you know, find a niche and find an opportunity. As a successful person, what do you think stop other people from opening a good business, and what mistakes you think they do?
To be honest, I think people they want success very fast. So it's all about the timing, you know. People they need to be successful and they need to show their success very fast before they are even there. So, you know, Instagram pages, fake hypes, without a strategy, without
Yeah,
like
especially with the internet.
exactly, you know, without strategy, without like even good thinking about how it goes. So it's just chasing the hype of fame before it's really successful. So they need to consider
I
it.
think internet is a very good example here, because it's all about, especially if we talk about Instagram, for example, it's about showing off, right? And when you see someone, oh, my friend got a nice car, right? Oh, this guy got a house. Oh, this girl is traveling around. I want that, right? I don't want to put work. I don't want to spend my time not watching YouTube and doing what I like to do. I want this. I want what these people have. But yeah, I think it's takes time.
Yeah,
It takes
this is
time.
the jealousy. Jealousy kills. It kills the ambitious. It kills the plan. It kills everything. So
How
you-
much time it took you to get to this point?
Oh, I did a lot of mistakes, but I think from 5 years before until now, I'm becoming what I really wanted to become. Yeah.
From 5 years from
yeah.
now.
Yeah, only 5 years from now.
Okay.
Before there was a lot of up and downs, a lot of mistakes.
What's the ultimate goal? You're saying to what I want to come? Like it's
Just a bit-
which picture do
yeah.
you see in 5 years? Is it
Yeah,
the
yeah.
amount of businesses you opened? Is it the amount of money you made, or it's something more?
It's the
that
person who I
fulfilling yourself.
became, actually. It's not only the money, it's not only the businesses I did, it's the person who I became. I became more like organized, more thoughtful about how things can work and things cannot work, you know? And then I know the value of time now. That's the most important.
Yeah, everything, especially even with our project, that takes effort and passion. I think if you do what you really enjoy to do, you're not going to worry about how much time it's going to take because you're going to
Sure.
enjoy the process. Talking about the time, if you meet yourself when you were 18 or 20, right, when you were just starting, which advice you would give to yourself?
The advice I would give is that stop waiting for the right moment because it doesn't exist.
It was yesterday.
There's nothing like the right moment, to do this or this. Yeah, I think this is, if I knew that before, I would be definitely a different person. But all of us, when we were young, we hope about, we're waiting for the right time to do this and to do this. Even your parents, even all the environment around you, they tell you, you know what, when you grow up, wait for the right time to do this. I don't think this is correct. You never should wait for the right time. You feel it, you do it. You try, you fail, you wake up again, you stand.
You start again.
And then that's it. It's
Yeah,
all
yeah.
rolling.
I remember when I was in high school. I was thinking that by the age of 25, I'm gonna have a hotel and a wife with children.
Yeah,
Like I'm 28 now.
sure.
No hotel, no wife. Still.
Exactly. I had even bigger dreams. So,
You said that you had mistakes, obviously, when you're doing business for such a long time. What do you think is more painful? Is it to lose time or to lose money?
no, time, definitely.
Time?
Sure. Money, you can make it back. Every minute you lose, how can you bring it back? No, time, for sure, time. Time is the most precious thing that you ever have. Especially when you start thinking how life could be very short.
Oh yeah, that's for
Yeah,
sure.
so-
It's flying. It's flying so fast,
Definitely.
and especially when you're busy and you're trying and putting a lot of effort in what you're doing, it's snapping.
Yeah.
And
super.
I also mentioned the older you become, the faster it goes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You stop counting, You just wake up, then you find yourself, you're 40.
I learned something that it related to that you start learning less. Like when you're constantly learning, the process always feels longer. That's why when you're like children, you're sitting in high school, you think, oh my God, like that's never gonna end,
Yeah.
right? The time stretches. But when you already know everything and your brain works as you get used to things, how things
Yes,
works. That's you don't think much about it, and that's why time just getting split into like
Exactly.
one day, especially when you're going to work every day and doing the same stuff all the time.
Right.
How do you spot a good idea, like a business idea?
No, it's all about the feeling. It's about if you see people are obsessed about it, if you see people that they think that this is something that attracts them, it's all about the feeling. After a while, after you have a lot of experience in business, then you will know from the first moment you look at something, you will know that that's it. Yeah, but you have to adjust on it because I do believe there's no new ideas. It's all old ideas, but it's like
Wrap it up in a new way.
in a new way, definitely.
Hmm.
And it goes back all about the branding. So it's how you brand.
You said
what
branding.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it all goes back there. It's how you brand the thing.
How? What do you mean by that?
People they don't buy what you sell. Yeah,
What do they buy then?
they buy how it makes them feel.
Mm.
Yeah. So if it makes them feel good, then you can sell it 10 times more.
Mm.
So it's all about the feeling. So let's say in one of the businesses I do, people, they like what they are buying from my place, but the most important is the visual, how it looks when they take a picture with it, and how it
You're
feels
talking
when
about
they
the
eat it.
Oakberry, right?
Yeah.
I'm a part of a healthy lifestyle.
Yeah,
I'm a
yeah.
part of
So
the team.
it's more like
Yeah.
lifestyle. It's more visual, and it's more about like it's healthy. So yeah,
How you would think to relate that feeling to your brand, because obviously you can with the healthy food that you're doing, it makes sense, right? It's a healthy lifestyle, but how to choose this right feeling, like what you're selling? You can't just sell happiness all the time.
but it's not only about food. There's always a feeling in whatever you sell. In whatever idea you're going to sell, there's always a feeling.
What feeling do you think the hardest to sell?
Uh, there's a lot of hard feelings to sell,
Okay.
But I mean, when you achieve the point of knowing how to it's not called manipulate. It's called like how to go inside of people's like heart and touch their feelings. Then you can sell actually anything that you want. You know, even clothes. There's a lot of feeling in the clothes. You know this, right? There's a lot
They
of
say
brands.
style and
Yeah, but it's about how you feel when you wear it. You know, this is one of the biggest mistake. A lot of clothes brands, they are not doing it. You know,
yeah, especially when you are expensive brand, right?
exactly.
Yeah, I heard that really nice point that when you see H&M or you see some brands that below, we're saying 500, right, or
Yeah.
$100, they're always smiling on the posters. They're always smiling like we team, me and you, we're just one thing. You're wearing our stuff, we're all happy here. But if you actually look at Calvin Klein, Gucci, they
Those
always
are
have poker
Gabbana.
face. Yeah, they
Yeah.
always have poker. And someone told me most of those posters and models, they look for you from up to down. So they're looking at you like this, like so you want to get to them and be a part of the high society.
This is the marketing. man,
Yeah,
you know?
this is the marketing.
Yeah.
But it's crazy how it works on us. And I'm always asking myself, is it good or bad? Because obviously, when you have a business, and we also, like everyone, right? Whatever you do, you need to brand it, you need to market it, you need to find connection with people. But I believe that brands completely took over our brain, completely with especially with everything that's related to fast food, whether it's TikTok or McDonald's or Reels or whatever. I think we're done.
You know, I have a feeling, and I know that we are being manipulated by 1% of the world.
Oh yeah, I mean,
All
yeah,
these
we heard it so
brands,
many
all of
times.
this,
Yeah, of course,
but only 1% that
100%,
they control this.
100%,
Yeah,
100%.
yeah.
I have a theory that how before people were using heroin and some hard drugs, and it was very acceptable. Like I think where is it in Europe? They were even selling it as the cough
Yeah,
medicine or something like
yeah.
that. Now we understand that it's so crazy, right? Now when we think about it, that's wild. How could they do something like that? Do you think in 100 years people will look at us and they're gonna be like, "Whoa, they were watching TikTok for the whole day, like the whole day. They had no restriction on that, and they were letting these companies and brands just to do whatever they want with their mind." I think that's what we will look back and we will go that was not the right decision they were made.
I have even a weirder theory about this. I
Tell
think
me.
after 100 years from now, what we will be witnessing from technology and stuff, I think it's already created now. But it's not time to launch it yet. Do you know that the mobile phones and the iPhone and this kind of stuff, they were created before anybody knows about this? But they use the mobile phones for everything related to army, military, like this. And then they decided to launch it maybe after 14, 15 years. We heard about it after 15 years. You know, internet was there before we know about it. They use it also for like the space, for a lot of military things. And then they decided to launch it. So I do think that there's a lot of stuff ready. But it's not the time to launch it. Yeah, so after 100 years, everything would change.
Yeah, I heard about it too. I think the last one I heard, it's the microwave. It was also they were trying to figure out how to destroy some things, and then they were like, oh, by the way, it also can heat up the food, because the whole point is to heat up something and it pops up, right?
A lot of things.
That's what they're trying to do, and they were like, let's just make the small version of it, and then now we're having a microwave.
That's why I said we've been manipulated by 1% of the world, because they know what's coming.
Yeah.
We don't know. We just sit and watch. Exactly.
Do you think some people are buying brand more than product itself? Because it's no. I'll phrase it differently. Do you think that branding is more important than the product? That sometimes you can have a really beautiful wrap, but when you open the candy is actually shit, but no one cares about it.
This is what I was telling you before. It's like half of branding is manipulating. It's that you need to know what are you doing in the branding. So but you need a good product. You don't need the best product, but you need a good product. If you have a good product and then you know how to market it, and then you know how it makes people feel, because I told you, people, they really buy what they feel. They don't buy like what's the name, what it makes them feel. Let's say when they buy coffee from this place, but not from another place, it's because that coffee is more saturated, it's more strong. So it makes them feel different, Same as the clothes. Some people, they wear clothes from X brand, and then it makes them feel rich. You know, some people they buy Rolex because they want to feel like you know,
I'm a part of that.
I'm a part of that community. So for me, branding now is all about story. How good can you tell the story about the brand, and then you can create a lot of stories. Not all of them are correct, you know. So creating the story of a brand, where it came from, that's the most important thing about selling, you know. But you still need a good product.
Yeah, of course, of course. I think eventually, you can get hype,
Yeah,
you can get even big, but eventually, when people are feeling someone is just obviously trying to bullshit them.
yeah,
Yeah,
right.
because this swing, it works, especially now with the internet. It works all the ways. Like people can instantly like you, but then when they feel that you betrayed them, you're getting canceled in one day. So
True,
there's no problem
true.
with that. No
It
problem
always
with
happens.
that. Tell me the story behind Oakberry.
You know, Oakberry, it's made from acai. Acai is a Brazilian fruit that it's only exists in Brazil in the Amazons. So it's very healthy. It's like gluten free. There's a lot of good benefits inside, and and it's also organic, and it's also really good to for health in all kinds of ways. But Oakberry is that's a real story. You know, that's not a fake story. That's a real story.
Yeah,
You
yeah, of
know,
course, of course.
because Oakberry started 7 years before only. And the founder of Oakberry, he's very intelligent guy. He did it with a couple of his friends, and then they started. And then from 7 years until now, they are the biggest acai brand in the world. In more than 50 countries, almost around the world, almost around 1,000 shops in 7 years.
That's cool.
So it's really becoming, because they changed the concept of acai. You know, before acai used to be in a bowl. It looks not nice. It looks ugly, and then you put in it some toppings and some fruits. They changed it to do it like a bowl in a cup, which comes with layers. You know,
City style. Yeah, this is it. This is city style.
So they changed the concept of that.
Because usually when you think about a smoothie bowl, I'm imagining something that I tried in Bali or something
Exactly.
like coconut.
We tried
right?
it all. And
Yeah,
half of coconut,
exactly,
it's like
yeah.
this.
And
It's
there's
not in a cup.
Yeah, this one is ready to go.
Yeah, it's ready to go. And then you give the people more options of choosing their own toppings. You know, you give them 20, 30 toppings, and you tell them choose. You want this, you want this, you want this. How do you want to design your cup? And then whatever you see in the picture, it's in real life, it's the same. You know, the way of designing. So the way it looks, the cup, it looks alone. The visual of it is really something very tempting for people. And it's
I
healthy.
tried it. That's not for the advertisement, but I was at your shop and it was cool. And I think this city needs it because there's a lot of low quality food here because people, they need to eat fast and then run to the subway, run to work. And more healthy food and organic food is cool. We all need that, especially in a big city with such a big pace like Guangzhou, for sure.
It's
For sure.
just the beginning now. It's been like 3 months on.
What's your plan? More shops?
Definitely.
More?
Sure.
Yeah?
Sure. Expanding all over China. Yeah. It's gonna happen.
Was it hard to launch it here? Market, brand?
Look, it wasn't as hard as people, you know. I don't like to go extreme, you know. People tell you, it was very no, I don't like to lie. I'll tell you. It wasn't that hard because the company already is very organized, you know. So when you get the franchise, it's very organized, very well known around the world. The marketing team around the world is really good. So it wasn't as hard as people expect. But to bring it to China, it's a different stage because all the marketing that Oakberry does around the world is totally different in China.
Exactly.
All the celebrities that they work with, nobody knows them in China.
Here. Yeah, exactly.
Everything they do is in English. Here, it shouldn't be English. It should be in Chinese. So that was the challenge, you know. And I had a lot of people, like very close people to me. They were like, you know what? Don't do it. It won't work. It won't be successful. People will not like it. It's gonna be expensive. You're importing the fresh acai from Brazil. It's gonna cost you too much. It's gonna be very expensive.
Yeah, for sure. Same.
I love them.
I need them. I need them so
I love
much.
them. Yeah. I don't like people who just give compliments. I'm the opposite.
Exactly.
No, I like people who always pull you down.
So you want to do the
Definitely.
opposite.
It's
So
like
you want
the
to do the
screen,
opposite.
pull you down and then jump
Exactly.
up.
We need pressure. Everyone.
Yeah.
And I think with no pressure, there's no point in doing anything. If everyone tells you do a good job, there's no point for me to improve.
Definitely.
Why should I?
Yeah.
Why should I?
And a lot of them now are asking me if I can sell them one franchise shop. So it's fine.
And
It's
help
good.
them to launch it. Yeah. Help them to launch
They
it.
want to launch their own shop. Yeah.
Um, do you think that if to get successful, someone had to suffer, someone had to, especially men, that you need that pressure to put you down, and as you said, you also had up and downs,
Yeah,
so you can rise back.
true. Look, I don't think suffering is guaranteed success.
Hmm.
I don't think so. I don't believe that you need to suffer to be successful. What I really think is that if being successful is all about one word, it's consistency. That you are
Hmm.
so consistent on something, you know, you don't give up, you continue on approaching. And then if there's a goal in your mind, you approach it straight. It didn't work, then approach it from the side, then approach it from the behind. Try all the ways of approaching. If it's failed, then it's not meant to you.
Hmm.
But don't tell me I walk straight and then I fail. But there's still four ways that you can try to approach. So it's all about the mentality. It's all about like, I want to do this because I want to achieve this.
Hmm.
And the most very like nice thing that a person can do is like you and me, right? When we were young, we draw goals.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I want to have a private jet when I'm blah blah blah. I want to do this. I
Hmm.
want to do this. I had very extreme high goals. Yeah, one of them was a private jet, right? Okay, it didn't happen yet,
Okay.
but I'm still working for it.
Mm.
So that's the difference. I never lost the hope of having it. You don't
Okay.
understand?
Okay.
So yeah, some people they just like to quit, but suffering, I don't know. It's not guaranteed that it will make you successful.
I think I heard that idea that in Silicon Valley, I actually think it happens in many places, that if you come and try to pitch them an idea, they value two, three failed businesses more than one successful business.
Mm.
So if you come to them, you're saying, "Oh, look, I built this," or you say, "Look, I failed like this 3 times, but I'm trying. I have a new idea that I want to try." There's a lot of evidence that they actually value that more. There's a higher chance they're gonna try to
Because they
invest
look at
money.
the
Yeah, yeah,
ambitious.
because they know
They
that you
look the ambitious
already,
that you
yeah,
have.
yeah, you have ambitious and
Sure.
you know how to keep going.
That
Yeah,
you never
because
quit.
no one secured that whatever you open in before, no one said the next business is going to be successful too.
Definitely.
Yeah, you
Sure.
need to know how to fix your
Yeah.
mistakes. Mason, you said you importing fresh acai
Yeah.
and other products
Yeah.
from Brazil for your brand.
Yeah.
How does the tariffs affected your business so far?
The tariffs, it's now between states and China, but I'm importing from Brazil.
Hmm.
It doesn't affect me like directly, but it affect my customers in the US when I used to ship for them some stuff. It affects, but for me, I also don't care.
We don't
We
care.
don't
We
care.
don't care.
Yeah, I don't care because it's all about. Look, life is about giving a stand. You need to
Mhm.
stand. You need to find a place to stand still.
Of course.
Yeah, I've been in this country for 15 years. Whatever decision this country takes, I'm with it blindly. So if they want to put tariffs to 100% on us, 300, if I want to lose all my customers in the state,
I can only agree with you on this one. I've been
mm,
here for a while, and I think they're doing an amazing job. And whatever happens, I will support it.
definitely, yeah.
What do you think will happen next in America? How do you think it will look like?
I, look, in politics, I
No,
don't,
no, no, I'm not
I
even
know,
talking about
I
politics.
know, I
I'm
know.
just talking
In
about how
general,
it will affect people's life.
yeah.
And
The only people who will have harm is the American,
yeah,
eventually. I don't know where their president is taking them for, but he's taking them to a very, very bad place. You cannot fight the whole world, man. You cannot. Like you need people
friends.
like China. You need people like you cannot just come and say I want this, and everybody needs to bow. People
He
are
was
different.
expecting that everyone
Yeah,
will
but
get, yeah, everyone will
it's
get the deal.
225, man. Nobody bows anymore. Nobody goes and say, yeah, please, sir, whatever you
Yeah.
want, I do. Only weak does this,
Mhm.
and we are not weak.
Do you think more people will start coming here now? I have a feeling that,
Did you go to the content fair?
not this year actually, but I
It's
will go. I will
it's
go for the
it's
next
full.
stage for the
It's full,
closing
man.
one,
A lot of people are here. It's even more
even
after the
more than
tariff.
before.
Definitely.
I'm scared to show up there. Honestly speaking, I'm saying to the whole Canton Fair people, I'm scared. Like I'm going to Pajo, I'm getting lost there because it's too much for me.
Yeah.
And I also start noticing that before I saw people from different countries here, but now I see more Europeans, I see more Americans, and I'm like, what is going on actually? And they're saying we don't want to, like, there's no opportunity. There's just no opportunity there. The whole opportunity is here.
Sure. I saw a reel about an American guy. He was saying that he used to buy something from China, and he was saying his words directly towards the president. He's telling him, even if you put 300%, 400%, the item I'm buying from China is 800% cheaper than I can make it in the States. So there's no way you can do anything, you know? So that's why I said the only harm will be on their citizen, not on anybody else.
And it's crazy why someone can make that kind of decision, right? I mean, I understand that they want to like increase their manufacture, I guess, to be more independent, but it's such an economical shock that we're already not. I understand if you're talking about Switzerland, you know, when people are like having money,
Yeah.
but you have a lot of people who are also in debt. You have a very different demographics, right? You have rich people, you have poor people, and everyone. And when everyone suffer simultaneously at the same moment, they will just cut off, I think, a lot of people who are already at the edge.
Exactly. And that's not the way to do it. That's not the way how you can make the manufacturing things in your country more and more. That's not the way, you know.
What about the clients that you said you already have? Did you just
They are
lost some of them?
affected. They are
Yeah.
affected in this kind of
So what they
tariffs.
do? They increase the
No,
prices or just don't buy anymore?
now they don't buy anymore, and it's fine. You know, they should do some pressure on their country. You know, they are the one who started. You know, not here. So, man, for me, everything is good, bro. Like anything.
Yeah, especially when you focus on the local market as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I heard that one guy also on a reel. He was saying that how old is China, man?
Mm.
You know, when China was there was no even any other countries, and they are still here. So we don't care. I like this word.
We don't care.
We
I
don't
love
care
it. I
anymore.
absolutely love it. How he
Yeah.
said that.
Yeah.
We've been here 5,000 years. We'll stay another
Yeah,
5,000 years. No
exactly.
problem. No problem. Before that, we were talking about should one suffer, right?
Mm.
And the thing I like about you that you also have this very masculine, proper approach on how to handle your life. The thing that you shared with me yesterday, I'm not gonna recall it properly. If you can repeat that about the white money for the black days,
Yeah.
that kind of thing.
Yeah. It's and I have Arabian blood, right?
All right.
So we have one very famous saying. So I'm gonna translate it. It says, and my parents used to tell it to me maybe every day or every other day. They need to. This is how they raised that you need to save your white money for the coming black days, which mean the rainy days or the bad days. Yeah, and that shit never happened. I don't like it. I don't believe in it. And because what if no black days come? So why are you saving them money? And if black days come, if you're man enough, you'll be ready for that, right? So yeah, I'm against this kind of saving money for any accident that can happen. Just wait. It might not happen, then you lost time. You could have enjoyed this time by using the money that you saved of a fear of something that it might happen, it might not happen.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. And you can not only waste but also
Exactly.
invest it and use the money.
Exactly. You know, or did something at least with it, make some people happy around you. But you were no. This is the fear of the unknown, you know. Like, I want to keep this money just in case something happen. I don't want to spend it, but what if in case nothing happen? No one knows, man. So that's how I live day by day. That's how it is, you know.
You said if you're man enough, you will handle the dark days.
Yeah.
How you define if you're man enough? What do you think define a boy from a man?
His words. You know, the words, the things that you say. A man says things and they stay on it. Whatever it cost him, he stays on what he said. You know?
But is it the word or the action then?
It's what you said. It comes with an action. If you promise to do something, if I promise you to do something, I'm gonna do it. Whatever it's gonna cost me, whatever time I'm gonna waste, whatever energy, I'm gonna do it. So it's connected with the actions, you know? Yeah, the boy is different. And one very important thing, it's about when you face a problem, here you can define a man from a boy. When you face a problem, a man directly stops and start thinking, how can they solve the problem? You know, like, there's a problem in front of me, and I want to see how can I start fixing this problem from any sides or ways, right? The boys start thinking who to blame, right?
Controlling your emotions.
Yeah,
right?
I wanna blame the world, and yeah, sometimes they blame either their zodiac signs, you know, like I'm Scorpion.
Yeah, I'm a
that's
Scorpion.
it's
That's
the
why it
universe.
happens.
This is the difference, you know.
Saturn in the right
A man
position.
focus. A man faces problem. He receives a phone call. There's a problem that happened in work and family. He shut down the phone and then he starts thinking how to approach that problem, how to start solving it without nagging, without blaming anyone. Blaming is a very big like virus, you know. When you start blaming, it's only to comfort yourself.
Exactly.
It's not me.
The comforting yourself.
Yeah.
I really,
it's not
I
me.
really want to join
It's
on
not
that
me.
one.
It's the universe. It's not me. It's my friend.
I have a feeling that the immature man, they need more validation. You need validation from someone to tell you that you're doing good. It's like,
Definitely.
you know, your mother is telling you you're a good boy, like you
Definitely.
did some good job, and you still need that. But if we talk about someone who is the real man, I think he doesn't need to prove anything. He
Sure.
knows. He
Sure.
knows.
Sure.
You know that it's enough for you. You know what you're doing, and you're sure in what you're doing. And responsibility, I think, is the one thing as well.
Definitely.
When
yeah.
you ready to put your life and take charge of someone else's life, that's, I think, when you become a real man. Because now you're literally living several lives now. So you're in charge of yourself, but you're also in charge of another person, and you need to manage the whole life together. Where I think boys are just focusing on themselves.
Yeah, definitely. It's about how far you want to go also. How far you want to risk losing everything. This is defines a man. You know, when you start thinking that I'm ready to lose everything, if I'm gonna do this, what I really want, what my heart wants, I'm following it. And if I'm gonna lose everything, I'm willing to do it. That defines men from different things, you know.
Stopping the fear, right?
Yeah.
Stopping the fear inside. And we all have that. I mean, we
Definitely.
all have that.
We all
it
have
doesn't
fear.
mean that I don't fear, right?
No,
it's
no,
just, it
that's
doesn't mean
different.
that I don't feel it,
No,
right?
that's different.
Of
you know,
course.
everybody has fear. We have fear of losing close people. We have fear of losing blah blah blah. But it's about controlling these kind of feelings. You know, a man can control them. As I said, the boy needs to go and start blaming whoever is fault. You know, without thinking. So you asked me before something about if I went back to 20 years old. Yeah, what's the advice, right?
Yeah, right.
There's also something that I could have said that is like to stop trying to impress people. You know, when you really stop trying to impress people,
That's validation. That's what I was talking about. That's where you need them to tell you that you're doing good job. Yeah.
Two things that I really learned in my life that they are really precious, and that's where I start feeling peace in my life, is to stop trying to impress people, and to try to have zero expectation on many things.
Exactly.
On many things. It's super hard, but I think I achieved a place that I have very low expectation. Everything, anyone, anywhere, you know? So if something good happened to me, I'll be super happy.
Yeah.
If something not- if something-
I honestly telling you, I have the same thing. I think whatever happened already in my life, I'm happy with it.
Sure.
I'm happy with it.
Whatever
I'm going
comes.
forward. I know what I'm doing. And whatever happens more, it's already a blessing for me.
Sure.
Like I was not expecting this. So whatever happens after that is it's double, you know, it's extra. Everything is already
Exactly.
extra.
Yesterday you were telling me you were never expecting what happened last time in the stand-up.
No.
You were
no,
not.
not at all.
So
Not
you're
at
blessed.
all.
You see?
I am.
If it happened, then
Indeed.
it makes you happy.
Indeed.
And if it didn't happen, you're already expecting that nothing might change. So that's the mentality I think people need to raise their children on.
And especially nowadays, you know, you have such an social acceptance because, you know, before, I think in your country as well, this thing that an elderly, you know, old people, you have to always respect them. You have to listen to what they're telling you, where it comes from. Because before, if you live up until 40 or 50, it means you know something. You survived. You know some secret that let you live for so long. Nowadays, you can just stay home, play video games, and live up till like 100. No trouble at all. You can literally do that. And that's why it's such an easy pass for a lot of people, you know. And now we see those 30, 40 years old who we assume that if you're 40 or you're 50, you probably have this big knowledge. Because I also grew up in an environment like, listen to the elderly. If this person is 50, he knows, he has experience, right? But now I see some dudes and I'm like, I'm surprised you made it. I'm surprised you're still here.
still
Like, how
here,
you
right?
made it. There's
Exactly.
no any other time in history you would still be in this moment, but our generation.
Exactly. Let me ask you a question. Do you think what our elder used to say it's all correct?
Uh, you mean listen to the elderly,
Yeah.
that kind of part?
Yeah.
I believe that even 100 years ago, if you really lived up till some certain age, it means that you really survived. You survived.
Yeah.
You made it, which is not true anymore.
Yeah.
Time changing. Now I
Definitely.
don't think that you always have to follow it
I
because a
think
lot of things change.
I even think in my generation, like my, let's say the parents' generation, 90% of what they said is doesn't fit.
It just doesn't fit anymore.
It doesn't fit.
Yeah.
So you need to just adjust, but that's a mistake a lot of people they do. They keep what their parents teach them in their mind and they're trying to grow up on that. They don't adjust, because if they want to adjust, they need to go out from the comfort zone, which scares a lot of people.
Exactly.
Right? But I think 90% of what they told us, it's not correct. At least in our age, in our century, in our time zone. Maybe in their time it's different, but in our time it's wrong. So yeah, it's very dangerous now to have a kid and raise the kid. Now it's a
Same.
big challenge.
Yeah,
big
exactly.
challenge.
I really think we're one of the most crazy generations. Really, I know that
Exactly.
probably every generation and in every part of the history will say that, but just think about this. We still, like, even me, right? I still remember the time when there was no phones, and then there was this like big things, right? There was like now working, and I already understand Neuralink and how we can chip people and they can move and use computer with their mind. That's a very sharp and fast transition that we need to adjust real fast. And of course, our parents, when you're like 50, 60, it's unreachable to you. It's
True.
unreachable. You can see that, you can use that, but you can't teach that because you need to live that through. So we only hope that maybe we're gonna give
Reach that.
do the better job,
Yeah.
for our children. I
Yeah,
hope so. I hope so. Do you think that the modern men are getting softer?
Oh,
Is it?
hell yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot softer now.
What do you think is the main reason?
The main reason is like all of this internet and all of this kind of easy money that you can do by going on TikTok, throwing some water on your face, doing something like this, and getting money. So definitely, that's really something that annoys me every time. Like somebody sends me a video from these people on TikTok that they are doing the challenges, and then they throw they hatch an egg on their face just to get some money. And men, 30, 40 years old, they are doing this kind of things.
Challenge.
Or somebody just paid them money just to go and dance. So yeah, definitely. You're very lucky these days if you meet some real man, Yeah, because now people focusing on getting money. Getting money is very easy for everybody. But you need to decide. Do you want to get it in the hard way and be a man and in a masculine way, or you just want to get it whatever? So now they are getting it in whatever. So getting softer is a very nice word from you. I think it's even worse than softer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How would you call it?
I prefer not to say it. Yeah, yeah. It's like vanishing little by little, man. It's really not easy, to find somebody that they can keep their words, to find somebody that, also in your environment of friends around you, I have a very small.
Oh yeah, that's so important.
I have
so
a very small circle of friends. And I achieve a point in my life that I really have no problem in losing any of my friends. Any. So as long as you're going, because let's speak about myself, right? If you want me to be your friend, and it's really very good for me to be on your side, not to be on the opposite side.
Yeah.
Because I know my values, right? I know who I am. But if you want me to be in your side, you need to be a mirror of me, If I'm honest, you're honest. If I tell you a word and I'm gonna do it, you're gonna do it. So that's why the circle of friends, if you notice, every year it goes smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. That's why you start needing to put the mentality in your mind that if one day I'm alone, I'm good. I'm going to get my dog and go to an island and then just live there. which is fine, you know. I think everybody should think of this kind of one day he needs to do something and he needs to be by himself, you know. People leave, parents die, friends they leave, girlfriends they go, whatever it is. You need to focus. Are you happy with yourself if you stay
Yeah,
by
if
yourself?
you stay by yourself.
Are you happy? I don't think there's a lot of people they ask themselves this kind of question.
Yeah, I think so.
You know,
I
because
also
they are
think so.
afraid. They are afraid to ask themselves, am I happy if I stayed alone? Am I happy to travel alone? If I have money, am I happy to spend this money alone?
Yeah, alone.
You know, so that's the question that people are fear. They need people around them. They need people to be surrounded with them. I mean, having people
Validation. We come to the question of validation again.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we need other people to validate our own
Exactly.
selves, which is crazy. I also believe, and I like how you brought the friendship and the relationship and everything, because it doesn't matter which social group you're thinking about. It's always attracted when you have your own life, when you're a person, when you're not just a part of a group, right? Because some people, they're getting into the group of friends and they dissolve in it, you know. So the people getting into relationship and they're lost in it. There's no like their own life. But if you don't have your own life, you're not interested, right? You have to be a person. I want to know what's your hobbies, what are you doing, what's your fear, what do you like, right? What you're following, what are you?
Exactly.
So I'll be interested in it, so we can exchange something. If
You
there's
need to be
nothing
on the same
about you,
page.
but you just copying and everything that other people doing, and you need to just validate them, I don't think it makes any
It's
sense.
getting very tough. You need to be on the same page, man. It's very hard. For me, it's very hard to call somebody like a friend. I know a lot of people. I have very few friends, very few. But I know a lot of people. Like, especially in Guangzhou, a lot of people know me. I know a lot of people. But friends, yeah, there are very few.
I heard with age, it's getting harder to make new best friends,
Yeah.
because you're getting more critical on people. That's why, if you think about it, most of your best friends, they come either from high school or like people you know for a really long time, because at that time you were way easier, way more open. But now, you know, when you got heartbroken a lot of times, people betrayed you, you're getting very,
You get more aware.
yeah, you get more aware of what's going on. It's very hard for you to really
trust.
made a trust and made a strong connection.
Sure.
Yeah, that's why I also think that with time the circle of friends getting smaller, but that's a better connection. I can
Definitely.
think
The
so.
smaller, the better, I
Yeah,
think.
it's a way better quality.
Yeah.
Like the friends I'm staying connected now, I never had such a connection. It's like my real friends, I can call them.
You need to see how far they can go with you.
That's
This
for sure.
is the very important thing, you know.
I think we touched something on the children. If you had a son, how would you explain to him this whole concept of love, money, success? Okay, I know it's a very broad question. Tell me at least one advice that you will give to him
In life,
in life that can set up his mind to the right path.
just try to not impress anybody. Try to satisfy and impress the person inside of you. We all have people inside of us. We all have some people. Some of us, they have different kinds of people inside of them. You choose the strongest one, have a good relation with them inside of you, and try just to impress that person. That's the only thing. It's a very waste of time when you try to impress everybody around you. It's super waste of time. And if I want to teach him something that, yeah, the most precious thing he can have is time. You know, stop
Yeah, you
looking
cannot
at
take it back.
and never
take it
ever
back.
blame anything only yourself. Never. I taught myself to only blame myself. I judge myself so much. I punish myself so much. I don't speak up for anybody. I speak up for myself only when anything happened. And that's how I taught myself, you know, that you need to punish yourself, you need to speak with yourself, and you need to blame yourself, even if it's not your problem. Even if a problem happened with another guy, but it's your problem that you trusted that guy. So it all turns out to be your problem. So any problem you face, it's connected back to you.
Back to you.
There's a way, there's one way or another. That's why people, they just found a way to just blame it to other people, you know? But actually, it's all connected to you. I trusted you. I did this. I let you enter my life. I let you
My
do
expectation and
this.
everything. Yeah, that's happening.
So just blame yourself because that's the only way you're going to learn. No school, no university will teach you this kind of stuff.
Do you think it works the same way in the relationship? if something happens with your partner, do you think you should blame yourself, or it's just you're dating or you married with someone who does not value anything?
If a problem consistent happens, you should just start thinking that maybe you took a wrong decision, and it happens. And for me, I think most of the wrong decisions comes in the relationships more than in business, because relationship is like kind of more emotionally involved, way more than business.
Interesting that you're saying. So, are you trying to say that having a girlfriend is harder than to have a business?
No, definitely, sure. You know, yeah. There's one emotion in business: success or failure.
Yeah, okay.
There
okay.
is like
there,
too
you never
much
know,
emotions.
right? It's just
a
rolling
roller
the dice.
coaster.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
a roller coaster. It's up and down. Yeah, business is much easier.
Yeah,
even much easier to control. Right?
Yeah. But how would you define, okay, if you met this woman, right? How can you say that, okay, that's the girl I can spend my life with?
Look, this is a very big question for
Okay.
a very small guy, because for me, I have totally different way of thinking in relationships.
What's your way of thinking?
I don't believe in love.
Wow, that's a statement.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just drop it here on the table.
So that's different. You should ask somebody who believes in this. I believe in totally different things. But answering your question, how to choose the right person is that it also depends on the person. For me, I live my life as if I'm in a war.
Okay.
So my life is a war.
That's an approach.
That's it. I'm every day in a war. Some people will tell you, it's so dramatic. How you call it war? It's so like violent. No, who said war? Sometimes have very nice days. People, they used to love in war, right? They used to have children in war. They used to find money and some treasure in war. So war is not only bad. It's a good days also, yeah? But I don't live my life.
It's about fighting.
Yeah, it's like every day you struggle. Every day you fight. You fight your demons sometimes. Sometimes you fight the enemies that you have in your business. Sometimes you fight. So going back to the question, the woman should know that you are in a war. Is she willing to go inside?
No.
That's the only thing.
Yeah.
If you tell her I'm living in heaven, then everybody will approach. Everybody will come. Tell her I have money and I want to get married. Everybody will come.
When
But you need to see a war. That's why I always say, if you want to get married, you need to look for a soldier.
Wow, that's a good way to wrap it.
That's the only thing. You know, you need a soldier. You need somebody who fights with you. You know, like if it's not like this, because sometimes it might also affect your work. You know.
Of course, especially if you're doing a lot of things. If you're not doing anything, then yeah, of course, it doesn't make it. What you're saying doesn't make sense. But if you are trying to achieve something, if you are moving forward, yeah, you constantly need to fight. And then if someone next to you just want to chill and lay down on the beach all day long, it doesn't make sense.
It affects your work sometimes, you know.
You said I don't believe in love, but I believe in something else. What do you believe in?
Look, I think people mistaking love for getting attached or routine.
Okay.
I think this is the main problem. You get used to somebody, you know?
And that feeling actually, I think sometimes even stronger than the love.
Definitely.
Yeah, 100%.
So it doesn't have to... Who created the word love, right? It's we were born, we know about love, yeah? Your parents come to you. Love your mom, love your daddy.
Okay.
Go kiss auntie, like this, right?
Okay.
So the word love, what we heard in all the stories before, most of them are just fake stories. Smarter people than us, they created the story just to attract us. Yeah. So I believe people, they got mistaken between love and between they get used to some person. You know. So that's the difference. But why I always say that if you really want this love, it's something very complicated. I think love will make your sadness and your happiness controlled by somebody else. So you enter your home, your girlfriend is unhappy.
You're getting unhappy.
You're gonna be like that. You enter your home, she's happy, and hey, let's go out for a dinner, then your mood changes, and vice versa, right? And if we are calling it love, right? Because get used to somebody is a different thing.
Okay.
But if real love is like, you need to shape your life, right? I think we spoke about this one before.
Yeah, but I'm curious if what you're saying is correct. Yeah, if I love someone and this person is happy, I'm happy, and it's changed the other way. But why you don't believe in it then?
No, I'm telling you, because if you shape your life, right? You met somebody, and then you definitely, if you fall in love, what they call love, if you fall in love, you're gonna shape your life. Shaping your life is like, let's say, your girlfriend loves to go out to drink. You don't like, you're gonna shape your life to go out to drink with her. She likes to eat something different. You will try to,
Or she will change her
vice
life.
versa.
Yeah,
Everything
exactly,
I'm saying is vice
exactly.
versa. It's both ways goes. So you spend 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, just shaping your life for both of you to be very similar to each other. Both of you like the same hobbies. Both of you like to go to the same places, even sometimes to wear the same brands, to do the same sports. So shaping, it's very nice. This is the best thing in life, when you shape your life to the person that you love.
Exactly.
Right? Okay. Tell me after you break up.
Yeah, you're gonna be a different person. You're gonna find yourself a different person.
I call it an organ failure.
Organ failure. Like someone cut off your leg or something.
Yeah.
I think in some stories they actually describing it's like a part of you, right? Because you made this person a part of yourself.
Never be healed. Never. So and this is the fear that I have, is the shaping. So why I call it that I don't believe in love? I think I do believe, but I don't want to call it love, because I'm not gonna shape my life. Because after all these years that I have, I found out 2 copies of me, they cannot live with each other. It's impossible.
So how you call it? A business deal?
No, that's marriage. Yeah, but you can go getting attached to somebody, and that's a very good, good and nice feeling. Get attached, get used to somebody. Get used to walking home in front of somebody with barefoot or something, but you cannot walk there in front of somebody else. It's all about getting used to something. Yeah, but love is very big, bro. It's very deep. So
I also believe it can go back and forth. I mean, it can be gone, but I always saying, marry a friend. If you like to spend time with a friend, this friend will stay forever. Whatever love feeling it can, it can vanish. I believe
everything fades.
I can believe it can. I think it's our slow time to move closer to the end. One of the last questions I wanted to ask you: what would you like people to remember you for? The brands that you built, or the man that you were?
So definitely the man. The brands and the names and the companies, they all fade, they all go. Nobody will remember them. Yeah, and they better remember the man who did this, and the way he treated people, the kindness he has. And yeah, I think names stays, but the brands and all these kind of things that you read, it's just like you live this life just to fill it. Yes. So I'm filling it with work, brands, blah blah blah, but it all goes back about the person behind that.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think remembering that person.
We talked about it on the podcast as well, that people not following brands if there is no one behind them. And Vlad, he showed a really nice analytics. He was like, look at like Elon Musk and Tesla. It's obviously everyone know him, like, because he is behind it, right? Sure. Same you take into any other brand. It's like the person who stands behind it, the person who actually leads the whole thing that people getting attached for. You also told me you have an announcement that you would like to make about your new project.
It's it's something. It's called The Final Chance.
Okay.
And
what is the?
I'm not gonna speak too much about it because it's still in the preparation.
Okay.
But yeah, I called it The Final Chance because it's something very rare, and it's because for me will be my last project. So everything I did in my life is just a preparation for this project. Right. Everything I did is the preparation for this project, and I called it The Final Chance. So after that, if everything goes well, I'll be very happy. I don't have anything to prove anymore.
All right.
Yeah.
Will you tell us anything else, or just the name? And that's very important.
It's a very.
What is it about?
I'll tell you. It's something very unique. It's a story to tell, and it's something that you'll only have it once in your lifetime. It's stitched on fabric. The story.
All right.
Yeah.
Very mysterious, but we're looking.
Yeah, we're looking soon when everything is ready. I think everybody will hear the voice.
All right. Yeah. I'm happy that we are one of the first people who know about it, and we will be happy to translate it to the world.
Sure.
Amazing. One of the last things we do here called Say It Fast.
Yep.
I don't know if you watched some of our episodes till the end.
Yeah.
But it's a tradition So what we do here, I'm going to ask you a series of questions.
Here you go.
I'm going to ask you pretty fast. There's a very different questions. Some of them yes or no. Some of them require thinking. What I need you to do, give me the first thing that comes to your head.
So it's yes or no?
Some of them. Some of them requires thinking
Okay.
and maybe even calculating.
Let's see.
You ready?
Definitely.
One good friend or $1 million?
No, one good friend.
Should a woman pay on the first date if she's the one who invited you?
Never.
Why the ocean is blue?
Because that's how it is.
What is the capital of Australia?
Melbourne.
How old will you be in 2054?
49.
One country that you will never would like to visit.
I'll pass.
Have you ever dated two girls at the same time?
Yes.
Who wrote Lord of the Rings?
I don't know.
Do you believe that people were on the moon?
What?
Do you believe that people were on the moon?
Never. No.
And the last one. This one you can take slow. What is the purpose of life?
I've been living for 38 years old. That's the question that I ask myself every night. And I always say that my life have meaning, but it doesn't have a value for it. So when I know really what's the purpose of life, I'll come again on this broadcast and I will tell you what's the purpose of life. But for me now, it's just to be kind.
Be kind.
Yeah.
Amazing. That's a beautiful way to wrap it up.
Thank you
Thank
so
you for
much.
joining.
Thank you for
It was an
having me,
amazing
man.
conversation.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, guys.